Hello, once again, this is Magic Mike from FastTransfers.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make a game sheet using Coreldraw. The first thing you need to do, you need to put a folder on your desktop and you need to name that folder Game Sheet PNGs. Alright, those are all the images that we may use all of them, and we may just select a few of them, but this is the folder that they're in. Alright, now what you want to do, you want to go ahead and open up Coreldraw. Alright, now that Coreldraw is open, you want to go ahead and open up a new artboard here. What you need to do, you need to hit File, New. Most of the time I like to name it what it is. This is going to be a 22 by 24 game sheet, and a lot of time I like to put my first name and my last name, first initial. Alright, this sheet size, the width is going to be a 22. The height is going to be 24. And the unit of measurement that we're using, of course, is inches. Alright, number of pages, we're going to be doing 1 page. Alright, and the color mode we're going to be using right now is going to be actually RGB. And the reason we're using RGB because we're going to be exporting this file as a PNG file, and it's going to convert it to a RGB. So we might as well go ahead and start it off as a RGB instead of a CMYK. Alright, the resolution that we're going to use is going to be 300 dpi. Alright, the preview mode, I just like to keep it on enhanced right here. And the color settings, you know, most of the time this is the default setting. Most of the time that's fine, so I would kind of leave it alone. Like that RGB profile right there, most of the time it's going to be set on sRGB, and I like to leave all that alone because the default stuff is fine right there. Okay, after you set everything up right there, you can go ahead and hit OK. Now what I want to do, I want to make sure all the tools that I'm going to be using to create this game sheet are on my screen right now. Alright, so what I want to do here, I want to go ahead and hit View. Alright, I want to make sure that the ruler is showing, which it is. The guidelines is checked. And I want to make sure it's Snap to is set on page right here, which it already is. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I want to go to Window, and I want to go down to Toolbars, and I want to make sure my property bar is checked, which it is. And I like to also make sure that my status bar is checked as well. You have several that's checked right here, so we're going to be fine right there. Okay, let's grab another tool. We're going to get the Align and Distribute tool right here. Let's go to Object, Align and Distribute, and just make sure that it's checked. You already see we have ours over here, but I was just showing you how to get to it. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and zero our ruler out right here, because as you see the ruler is 0 all the way to 22 right here. But if you look over here, you got 24, 22, 28, 6. It's backwards. Alright, so what you want to do, you want to go ahead and you want to use your mouse, hold down on the left key, left button, and you want to drag that to the corner of your page right here. After you drag it, let the button go. If you notice now, your zeros now 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, what we're gonna do next is capture the artboard. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over to the rectangle tool, click it, then we're gonna draw a box from the left hand top corner to the right hand bottom corner. All right, then what we're gonna do is, what's going on here, the inside of the box is clear, but it has a black outline going around it, which is called a stroke. The inside is called fill, and the outside is called a stroke. All right, so if you take your mouse over to your colors right here, all right, if you left click something, what the left click does is it fills the box. Okay, so when you hit the left button, it fills the box blue or whatever color you want it to be. All right, we want that to be none. All right, now the inside of that box again has no color. All right, now the right mouse button controls the stroke. So that's that black line going around it right now. So if you click on any of these colors right here with your right mouse button, it's going to make that stroke that color. All right, so that stroke right now is that pink. So you can see it better, we'll change the stroke size right here. All right, we'll change it to a 10. See that stroke is pink now? All right, so let's change it to another color. Let's do green. See, that controls the stroke. The right click of the mouse controls the stroke. All right, we want that stroke to be none, no color. All right, so we would right click the none up here. Either one of these up here would do it. It doesn't matter as long as it has none. And to verify that, you would go down here to the bottom right here, and you would see the fill is none, the stroke is none. So that does that. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is add our guidelines. And to do that, we wanna go to Tools, Options. All right, Documents. All right, if it's like this when you first see it, you want to go to Documents, and then what you want to do is you want to go down to Guidelines, and then you want to go to Presets, and then you want to go to User Presets. Now what you want to do, you want to check the margins, and then you want to make sure that mirror margins are also checked. All right, and in the top margin, what you want to do, you want to put 0.25, and in the left margin, you want to push 0.25. All right, you want to apply presets. Now what you want to do, you want to go over here and you want to hit background. All right, and just make sure that background is showing none right there. All right, after you're done with that, you want to hit OK. All right, now let's import our images in. All right, what you can do, you can hold Control and you can click on each image that you want to put on your board. Okay, after you click them all, just hit import. Now just click on the board until all your images are there. Alright, what we want to do now is all these images right here, we want to make sure they're cropped all the way to the edges right here. Alright, so what you do, let's size this image down right here, son. Alright, let's get our crop tool. First thing you want to do, you want to always, if you're going to crop an image, always take it off the artboard and crop it. Alright, so we're going to get our crop tool. And we're going to draw a box around this image that's a little closer to it. Alright. But when you draw this box, you want to make sure you're not cutting any of that image off. Let's zoom in a little bit and redraw this box. That's pretty close. That's pretty good. Alright, let's zoom in a little just to make sure we're not cutting anything off of this guy. Alright, so we're good right here. We're not cutting anything off. Looked a little close on the right hand side. That's why I want to zoom in. Alright, let's zoom back out to fit. Alright, after you finish sizing it, double click it. Alright, let's put it on the artboard. So he's ready now. Alright, while you have him, let's go ahead and resize him while we have him. Alright, so we want that image to be, let's make him let's go with 5 enter. Alright, so now what we want to do, let's do the next one. Alright, let's go ahead and put him outside of the artboard. Let's zoom in to him. Alright, let's go ahead and let's get the crop tool. Let's draw a box around him. Let's adjust the box. Make sure you're not cutting anything off. Double click when done. Let's zoom out. Okay. Him done. Alright, when we get finished with them, let's just put them out at the bottom down here so we can be a little orderly right here. Alright, the car. Get him outside the box. Let's zoom to select it. Alright, let's get our crop tool. Draw a box around the car. Close as we can without cutting anything off. Adjust the box. Double click when done. Zoom to fit. Bring it down here to the bottom with the other one. This one's already done. Let's bring him down here to the bottom with the other one. Alright, this one is done. Let's make this a little smaller right here. Let's go with 6. Let's go with 4. Enter. Resize it. Alright, let's size the next one. Alright, the Indian right here we want to go with, let's go with 3. Enter. Alright, let's crop him a little bit. Let's zoom to select it. Let's get our crop tool. Double click when done. Zoom to fit. Get the pick tool. Bring him down here. Alright, this one right here. This one ought to be good. This one's going to be good. The cats are going to be off. Let's zoom over here to this one. Zoom to select it. Draw your box around it with the crop tool. Adjust the box around it. Double click when done. Zoom to fit. Let's move it over here to the board. Grab the cats. Zoom to select it. Crop tool. Draw a box around the cats. Make sure you're not cutting anything off. Double click when done with the left mouse key button. Alright. Zoom to fit. Okay. Grab your pick tool, put them on the board. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to start lining everything up. Let's put him on the top. Let's pop him to the side right there. Snap him to the line right here. Okay, he snapped to the line. Alright, let's get the next one. Bring it in. Snap to the line. I feel like he was snapping, but I guess he is. Snapping. Alright, let's bring the next one over. Snap it. Bring the next one over. Snap it. Bring the next one over. Snap it. Alright, let's make this one a little bigger right here. We are 2.72. Let's make him a 6 enter, 6 inches long. Snap it. Alright, let's get him. snap the Indian right here. Alright, now we have all our images on the board right now. Alright, so now what we want to do, we want to select everything, select all the images, and let's evenly distribute them right here so they have the same amount of space in between each one of them right there. Alright, so you want to select them all, and then you want to go over to the Align and Distribution panel right here. And then you want to go to Distribute, and you want to distribute them vertically right here. So now they have the same distance between them now. Just hit that one time and that's done. Now what you want to do, you want to zoom back in. Alright, let's zoom in one at a time. Let's zoom in on the cats. Alright, so now what you want to do, you want to click the cats. Alright, now you want to duplicate these cats right here. So you can click it, right click, copy, paste, paste, right click, paste, right click, paste, right click, paste. Just however many you want, just right click, paste until you get that amount. Alright, so all you gotta do is just drag them to the right here till you get to the last one. Alright, I think that was the last one, yeah. Alright, so now what you want to do is you want to get this last one and you want to put him on the line. Alright, the bottom of his tail right here puts him inside of the borders right here. So now what you want to do, you want to select all of them. All you're doing is holding down your left mouse key and you want to drag a box around them all. Now you want to evenly distribute the spaces between them. So you'll go over here to the Align and Distribute section, go to Distribute, and it'll be this one right here, horizontal. Now they have the same amount of space between them right here. Let's do the same thing for this guy. Click it one time, right click, copy, right click, paste about 5, paste, right click, paste number 2, right click, paste number 3, right click, paste number 4, right click, paste number 5. So that means you should have 6 images here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that makes 6. You want to go ahead and align them all. Alright, what you want to do, you want to get this one as close as you can to the edge right here. Alright, now what you want to do, you want to select all of them. And you want to evenly distribute between them right here. So there you go right there. Next, you want to go to the next one. Right click, copy, right click. Let's do about 5 of these too. 5 more. Paste 1, right click, paste 2, right click, paste 3, right click, paste 4, right click, paste 5. So that should give us 6. So you want to go ahead and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 1 too many. So let's get this last one right here. Let's delete it. Alright, so that should give just 1 right there. Okay. Alright, so let's just align these with this one. So just click the image and bring it up until it lines up at the top. Alright, you want to make sure this one's close to the line right here. Alright, now what you want to do, you want to select all of them. And you want to evenly distribute them horizontally. So it's the same distance between each one of them now. Now what you want to do, let's grab this next one. Right click, copy. Let's do about 5. Let's do about 5 more of these. Right click, paste 1. Right click, paste 2. Right click, paste 3. Right click, paste 4. Right click, paste 5. So we should have 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take them all off the page and bring them back in. Alright, now what we want to do is select them all. And let's evenly distribute them. Okay, so they're now evenly distributed. Alright, let's get the next guy right here. Right click, copy. Right click, paste. We're going to do 4 of these. Let's paste 1. Right click, paste 2. Right click, paste 3. Right click, paste 4. So that should give us a total of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's delete that, and I believe that was the last one. Alright, let's select them all so we can evenly distribute them. Evenly distribute them horizontally. Okay, now they have the same space between each one of them. Let's do the same thing for this one. Right click, copy, right click, paste. Paste 1, right click, paste 2, right click, paste 3. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. That was not gonna make it, so that should be the last one. Okay, now we'll do the same thing with this guy right here. Right click, copy. We'll do about 6 of him. 6 more. Right click, paste 1. Right click, paste 2. Right click, paste 3. Right click, paste 4. Right click, paste 5. Right click, paste 6. So it should give us a total of 7. Two, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so we won't have enough space to get another one in there. Alright, so what we're going to do, let's select them all horizontally, distribute them. Alright, so you see the tail is touching on all of these, so let's rotate them. Alright, so let's rotate this image. Let's do a 90 degrees. Let's do a 180 and see if that's better. Alright, so let's do 90. Alright, so what we need to probably do on all of these, just rotate them 90 degrees. Alright, so now they're all going to fit on there. Let's move him all the way to the end. Okay, let's move him all the way to the front. Let's select all of them. Let's evenly distribute. fit them. Alright, let's group them. Alright, the reason we're grouping these because what's happening is since we have to rotate these, we're going to have to distribute this space again. So we're going to be grouping all of these to make sure we can distribute it correctly. Alright, so now let's do the car. We'll get 5 more of these. Right click. Select. Right click. Copy. Right click. Paste 1. Right click. Paste 2. Right click. Paste 3. Right click. Paste 4. Let's try 4. Alright, and to keep this thing straight, to keep it going straight all the way across right here, just hold control while you're dragging it, and it should stay in line. Let's evenly distribute them. Select them all. Distribute horizontally. Alright. We just want to make sure we got enough room to cut between them right here. And I know these tails touching, but what we're going to do right here, we're going to group these. Select them all. Right click. Group. Alright, let's do this ending. We'll get about 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get 7 more of these, so that'll give us a total of 8. Right click, copy, right click, paste 1, right click, paste 2, right click, paste 3. Right click, paste 4, right click, paste 5, right click, paste 6, right click, paste 7. Hold control, drag all the way to the end. Select, hold control, drag, select, hold control, drag, select, hold control, drag, select, hold control, drag, select with your left mouse button, hold control, drag, select, hold control, drag. Alright, so let's select them all now. Evenly distribute them. Alright, we're already cutting now. A little close, but I believe we can get in there and cut those ends out. Alright, now what you want to do is you want to select all the cats right click, group. Select the rainbows, right click, group. Select these images, 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 right click, group. Alright, select these images, right click. Okay, it's already grouped. These are already grouped. Alright, everything is grouped now. Except the bottom ones. Alright, select all these images, right click, group. Alright, verifying everything is grouped. So everything is grouped. Alright, so now you want to select all these images. Alright, you want to evenly distribute them vertically. Alright, now we got the same distance between each one of them now. Alright, so that tail is not touching anything. Everything is clear right now. Alright, so as you can see, we have a little spot right there that ain't got nothing in it. Right there. Alright, so what you can do is you flip those. So let's put something right there in that spot. We're paying for all this space, so let's put something there. Alright, right click, ungroup. Alright, let's grab another one of these images right here. Right click, copy. Right click, paste. Alright, let's rotate it. You want to use all your space. Probably could have put a cat in there. Let's get one of these cats. Let's ungroup the cats. Right click, copy. Right click, paste. That way you're utilizing all your space. All your space. You're taking it all up. Alright, let's get this guy right here. Right click. Let's ungroup objects. Bring him to the right some. I mean to the left some. may do it right there. So let's do something a little different with this cat. There. All right. So now these four images right here, let's redistribute them. All right. Okay, let's do horizontal. All right. Now we got this one between. All right. So long as we can get in here and cut this, which we can. Let's get a little bit more space right here. I really don't have to redistribute this, but I'm gonna redistribute it anyway. All right. So now you can get in there and cut everything. As long as you can cut, you're good. All right, these right here, let's get that a little closer right there. All right, select all three of these. Distribute these. All right, so now we're good with those. So get them cut. All right, now we are officially completed with this game sheet. All right, so now what we need to do, we need to go ahead and export it. What I want to do is show you why we drew that box. Alright, so what happens here is if we go and hit File, Export, alright, we already named it, and we hit Export right there. Watch what happens. Remember, this sheet is a 22 by 24. If you notice, this size is going to be totally different. The width is going to be 41.4 by the height being 23.44. And I'm going to show you why. You see how this is adding these two images right here to the sheet, and they're not supposed to be with the sheet. They're on the outside of the artboard. So what we would do is hit cancel. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to hit File, Export. Now what we're going to do is, you see this little box right here? Check it. Select it only. So now what it's going to do is going to only export the selected items. Alright, so select only. Now you already see that artboard size now is 22 by 24. That's the reason we drew the box around it, so it would select that entire page instead of everything on the outside of it. Alright, so you see now that sheet size is 22 by 24, and you see the page is transparent right here. You want to make sure that page is transparent right there. Alright, let's hit cancel. Alright, so if you, that box that's going around here, if you delete the box, let's select it, delete it, and you hit File, Export. Then you're gonna have that odd size because it's selecting everything right here. Alright, that's why your file size is different. 41.4 by 23.44. You don't want that. Alright. And even if we put the box around it like we did, we put the box around it, and then we hit File, Export, Export. It's gonna do the same thing. Even though we got the box around it, it's gonna do the same thing. Alright, so what you have to do, you have to actually select everything, including the box. So now what we'll do, we'll go ahead and export this file so it'll be ready to print. So what you want to do, you want to select everything on that page. You want to hit File, Export. Alright, now what you want to do, you want to make sure that your name is correct. 22 by 24 game sheet, Mike L. Alright, you want to, and it's a PNG file right here. You want to make sure that says PNG, which it is. You want to make sure the selected only is checked, and then you want to click Export. After you click Export, you want to make sure that that background is transparent, and you can visually see that it is transparent. Alright, so over here in settings, the color mode is RGB. Since it's a PNG file, that's the only color mode you're gonna have. Everything is black and white and all that type of stuff. So the PNG files most of the time only do RGB. Alright, so make sure transparency is checked. Advanced, the embed color profile, most of the time that's checked already. Units of measurement is going to be inches. The width is going to be 22. The height is going to be 24. We want to maintain the aspect ratio, and we want to hit OK. Okay. Now what we want to do, we want to look at the sheet. Alright, so in order to look at the sheet, we can just bring our file down. We can just bring our window down and look into game sheet PNGs. Alright, and there's your sheet. So select it, click on it, and there's your PNG sheet. Alright, now this looks a little crazy right here, but when you zoom in, that'll disappear. Alright, that's what your image looks like. But this type of image right here is not good for a game sheet, because what's going to happen is it's not good for a game sheet in doing what we're doing a transfer. Because what's going to happen is this what's going to happen, every one of these images is printed with white ink behind it. So this image is going to be printed with white ink behind it. So this is basically what's going to happen. You're going to have that big wall of white behind this image right here, which is not going to be desirable for this image right here. Because you know, it's not an actual vector file. So it's gonna, that box that you see right there, it's gonna actually try to print that box right there, but it's just gonna be a bunch of white ink behind here. So this image probably won't print well because it's not a vector file. If it was a vector file, yeah, it'll be a little different. It's still not recommended, this type of image right here, but these images right here do fine. they'll do fine. Now, at the end of the day, all these images are a little, the resolution on them was not good from the start. Now, this image right here, it probably won't print as bad because you got some sort of stretch lines right there that's straight. On this one probably won't print that bad, but these other ones, they were made a little bit bigger than they should have been made, so it's going to be pixelated because the image started off bad. See how pixelated that is right there? It's not straight lines. Same thing with these cats. You see, that's not straight lines, or it's not vector files. So the smaller you make this image, the better off you'll be. It won't be as pixelated. So just be mindful when you're sizing your images. If it's not a direct vector file, what's going to happen is that image is going to be pixelated unless you size it on down a little bit more. The more you size it down from its original size, the better your image will appear. But the more you size it up from your original size, the worse your image is gonna get. So just remember that. If it's not a vector file, if it's a vector file, it doesn't matter which way you go with it. You can go up or down with it and it's still gonna be a beautiful image. But on standard bitmap images and all that type of stuff, pixel type images, you're gonna have this same type of effect right here. That's just like this right here. This is not gonna turn out well because the image wasn't sent well. It was not vectored, so therefore it's not gonna print well. Same thing for this car right here. Now, like I said, if you go down on the size of these images, they'll print a little better, but it's still the wrong type of image for this type of printing. Look at the ending. See how when you zoom in how pixelated he is? That's how he's gonna look. In most cases, let's X out of that. X out of that. If you zoom in probably at about if you zoom at 300% or something like that, you're gonna really see your problems with your image. Alright, so that's how your image is gonna come out. It's gonna look just like that. That's at 300% right there. So if it looks bad right there, it's gonna look bad when it's printed. See, that doesn't look that bad right there because it was probably made with a vector file. It was made with a vector file, but of course it wouldn't transport it as a vector. Same thing with this one right here. These are gonna print pretty well. Is these right here, it's gonna print a little different right here. Simply because you have all these gradients and everything behind this image right here, which is gonna make it print bad because you have all these gradients behind it right here. As far as the way the image looks right here, at this size, the image really doesn't look that bad at this size right here. But as you can see, you got that halo running around it all the way around here, which is a gradient or something like that, a shadow and all that type of stuff behind it, which the printer is going to print white ink behind all of this right here, which is going to make it look like one big white spot, one big white rectangle in a sense. And when it gets printed, it may not look like this. It's gonna probably look like one big white spot. Let me see, can I emulate that? I think that image is gonna come out like that instead of like this, simply because that halo type box is going around it. I could be wrong, but I think it's gonna come out like this right here. when printing. Okay, you have now